Let's start to talk specifically about report bursting and distribution, and I want to do that from the perspective of looking back at the work that we have been doing with bursting and distribution for business objects for close to 20 years, as I mentioned. So there are a few key dates from the solution perspective of the solutions that we've brought to market, and I think they tell an interesting story about the progression of bursting and distribution through that time. So the first related solution started in 1999 when we introduced a solution called InfoScheduler. Now, InfoScheduler is an Excel interface scheduling solution that gives a very powerful way to manage individual schedules. So this was focused on bringing this enhanced scheduling capability to the Crystal Decisions platform at that time. At the time, it was even back to what was called Seagate Software, Seagate Info at the time. Essentially, that platform had scheduling involved, but individual scheduling, and there was a desire within a number of our customers to be able to do higher volume schedule, to be able to take a single report, put it in this Excel interface, copy that down with the powerful Excel features, and then to be able to go in and manipulate each of those rows in the columns that were attributes of an individual schedule. Basically, this allowed someone to take an individual scheduling mechanism and turn it into a much larger and much more full-featured scheduling environment. We have customers who use this solution. In fact, InfoScheduler continues to be a very well-used solution today. One of which is actually scheduling about 20,000 reports within one template. So that gives you a sense of the kind of the power that the solution has, but even more than that, gives you a sense of kind of the appetite that customers can have for building up this larger scheduling mechanism and the controls that are needed to do that. Well, the next solution that followed on from that was a solution called Distribution Server. And Distribution Server was bringing expanded destinations and security mechanisms to the whole scheduling process that InfoScheduler was enabling. So this allowed some enhanced capabilities onto this high-volume scheduling process. Now, it's still effectively a manual process because someone needs to go in and manipulate the spreadsheet and all of the attributes of the schedules, but the Excel interface allows for a lot of flexibility and a lot of volume actions in that. The next solution after that, though, was an important one. So in 2004, we introduced our Bursting Manager solution, and this is taking a much more automated process to this high-volume scheduling. So instead of an individual person going in and manipulating the spreadsheet, this put a data-driven process so that it could be automated, fully automated. A single report could be identified and run with individual preferences or individual security profiles, so that one individual report got burst out to a number of end recipients, each one getting that report, but only for their data, for their territory, for their customer base, whatever it might be, the topic of the report. But this whole automated, data-driven personalization of reports and getting that distributed out. So Bursting Manager was a very big step in that. We added a couple years later a solution called Report Package Booster, and this allowed for taking multiple reports and consolidating that into one individual document, which could then be distributed out. And again, bursting processes were very central in this, but not just a single document or a single report, but getting content from multiple reports into one document that was distributed out. We brought those three key capabilities together, bursting, consolidation, and distribution capabilities, into a unified solution called APOS Publisher. It became important to bring all of that together into one. And on top of that, we started to introduce some very deep and comprehensive statement generation capabilities. This allowed to handle some very complex requirements, some very complex publishing needs, a lot of contingencies, a lot of alerting, a lot of rerun processes. So it is handling some very significant content distribution needs. In 2015, there was scheduling interface capabilities for the distribution server portion of Publisher that got integrated into the business object scheduling interface if particular software mechanisms were involved. So some of you may not be aware of that, but that continues to be the case today. And this gives expanded distribution options directly from within the business object scheduling interface. Okay, so through all of this time, and you can see the evolution and growth that's happened there, of course, there have been ongoing advancements within all of this for additional functionality, additional integration, additional business objects content types, such as bursting of analysis APOS documents, which we added recently, well, within the last few years. And, of course, business object version support through all of this. The most recent milestone is the introduction of the APOS Publisher for Cloud last year. And this is taking all of the distribution and bursting thinking and needs and lessons learned and applying those to the bursting and distribution of analytics cloud content.